Vrinda Samanvitam Chaitanya Prabhum Vande Nityananda Sahoritam Sri Nandanandanam Vande Radhika Charanadvayam Gopijana Samayuktam Vrindavana Manoharam Janulambito Bhujo Kanakavadato Sankirtane Kapitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishwambaro Dvijabaro Yuga Dharma Palo Mande Jagat Priyakaro Karuna Avataro Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadra Bhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha Angasyamalima Chattabhira Vito Mandi Kritendi Varam Jadyam Jagudarochisham Vidadatam Patam Varasashriya Brindaranya Vilasinam Ridila Sadama Biramudaram Radhaskanda Niveshito Jula Bhujam Dhyaye Madamodaram Bhaktya Vina Parada Lakshai Kshiptas Chakamari Taranga Madhye Kripamai Tvam Sharanam Papanna Brinde Namaste Charana Ravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. First I give my Sastak Dandal Pranam to the lotus feet of my Gurudev, Nitya Pravishtam Vishnupad, Ashtotra Shatashi Srimad Bhakti Vaibhav of Puri Goswami Maharaj. I pray for his causeless mercy and I give my Sastak Dandal Pranam to the lotus feet of Srila Bhakti Vichar Vishnu Goswami Maharaj and Bhakti Sadhaka Muni Maharaj. I pray for their causeless mercy and I give my Sastak Dandal Pranam to all our Rupa Nuva Guru Vargas. I pray for their causeless mercy and I give my Sastak Dandal Pranam to all Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis. I pray for the causeless mercy. Now it's time of Jagannath Ratha Yatra in India. That is going on still now. That return Yatra is after today. Today is the return Yatra of Jagannath. 9 days I think he's staying now first. Yes. Very beautiful. This is, so many people come there and are happy in that festival, but Supreme Lord also very happy there.
9 days it takes?
No, he goes and stays there and then he goes back after 9 days. Travel is only 1 to sometimes 2 days when he stops on the way. Sometimes more. When Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was born, his house is just a few 100 meters after the Sri Mandir in Jagannath Puri on the Grand Road. So Jagannath came by and stopped his Ratha there. He did not want to go anymore. So they tried to pull with soldiers and elephants and he did not stop. 1 day he stayed there, I think 3 days even. 1-2 days he stayed there. Then Bhagavati Devi, the mother of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, she came out with a newborn baby. He was just very few months or weeks, I don't know how old he was. So she came out, then Jagannath dropped one garland. He wanted to have the darshan of his devotee. He was eager to see his devotee, then he went on. So Jagannath, he is Patita Pavan Jagannath. Nobody is merciful as Jagannath. And this Ratha Yatra festival is such a deep festival. It's not just pulling and dancing and singing like this. It's a very deep meaning, which was not known also to the people in general before. Some, but very before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Ratha Yatra festival was going on since thousands of years. It's already going on. Every year Jagannath will come out, going from Sri Mandir, like 5 kilometers or something, I don't know exactly how long, 4 or 5 kilometers. He's going to Gundicha Mandir. That Gundicha Mandir is considered to be Vrindavan. And Sri Mandir is Dwaraka Dham. So Dwarkadish.
Why it is done, Ratha Yatra? What is the meaning?
The meaning is very deep.
What is the question?
He asking why it is done. So I wanted to explain this also. That was my intention. Why this festival is going on? What is the meaning? What is the why Jagannath is doing this? Ratha Yatra. Yatra means journey, no? On the Ratha. Why he is climbing on the journey and going. Once in a year, then he get desire to go to Vrindavan for holiday. Because in Dwaraka he is king. King means so much opulence and so many things. So opulence sometimes makes you tired. Sweetness never becomes tired. Something is sweet is always sweet. So Vrindavan is never becoming, Krishna is never becoming tired of Vrindavan. Devotees never become tired of Madhurya, not of this sweetness of bhakti. But Aishwarya, bhakti mixed with Aishwarya, sometimes it's like you enough of this. So even Jagannath, the Supreme Lord, he had a desire to go. So that they're doing since thousands of years, this festival. Because in Puri, in Jagannath Puri, they consider Lord Jagannath, he is the Lord of the universe. So he is their Dwarakadish Krishna. And he is staying with his brother Balaram and their sister Subhadra. They're staying there like in Dwaraka. But the Krishna also, he is always thinking also of Vrindavan. In Dwaraka, Krishna has no flute, Krishna has no peacock feather. Now in these Hindu movies they put the Krishna peacock feather in Dwaraka and the flute is playing in Dwaraka, but this is not, he's not doing that. That is only in Vrindavan, not in Mathura, not in Dwaraka. They put also peacock feather on the Singhadev and on Vishnu everywhere, but only Krishna has peacock feather. That is only Krishna. That in Dwaraka sometimes, when Krishna comes in the mood, but that is special. One time, Krishna was so much in separation from the Brajavasis in Dwaraka, then somebody arranged a theatre for Krishna. Vrindavan Lila for Krishna, then everything. But this is not theatre. Everything became real. That is different. That means the Lila manifests also. Sometimes Radharani also came to Dwaraka when Krishna left Vrindavan. Then Radharani and Vishaka, they want to commit suicide, jump into Jamuna. And Lalita wants to commit suicide, she is jumping from Govardhan hill to break her neck. But that is Rupa Goswami in his drama, he's writing this Leela. Then when Lalita Devi is jumping from Govardhan hill, there is one bear, Jambavan. Jambavan is catching her and taking her to Dwaraka because he is there. And when Radharani and Vishaka, out of so much hopelessness, they think, what is the use? Krishna is no more here. There's so much crying and they cannot bear this burden anymore, the separation of Krishna, so they jump into Jamuna. But how Jamuna Devi, she can tolerate that Radharani committing suicide? It's not possible. So Jamuna Devi takes Radharani and Vishaka, with all respect, brings to her father. Father of Jamuna is? Who is the? No, that's the brother. Who is the father of Jamuna?
Surya.
The sun god. She is the daughter of sun god. And Jamaraj is also the brother. Is her brother. So they are Jamaraj and Jamuna, brother and sister. So Jamuna Devi brought Radharani to her father. And her father, Surya Dev, he gave Radharani to what was the name? In Dwaraka, who was worshipping that jewel? So that Satya.
Satyabhama's father?
Satyabhama's father. Satyajit? No. Maybe Satyajit, huh? I'm not sure, I think Satyajit. I think
Something like that.
Satyajit. So,
Which
Radharani,
Which stories are this from? Which book?
this is from Rupa Goswami's,
Which book?
that is Lalita Madhava Vidakta Madhava. That is Lalita Madhava. Lalita Madhava. Then she became Satyabhama. Radharani became Satyabhama, and Chandravali became Rukmini. She also, and all the gopis, they were so much suffering. They were stolen by one demon, and Krishna liberated. They all took the form of these princesses. Krishna liberated them and married them all. So because this Leela is eternal. This is always, Radha Krishna's Leela is everywhere. So also in Dwaraka, in a hidden form. So, how we came here? That is in Dwaraka. Krishna in Dwaraka sometimes, he's feeling that. Then when Satyabhama, when Radharani inside of Satyabhama came to Dwaraka, then she could not stay without Krishna. But there is Dwarakadish, not Vrindavan Krishna, not that sweet Krishna. So, and Krishna also could not stay without Vrindavan in Dwaraka. So from the demigods, how is the architect called? Today all names disappear from my Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma, he offered to Krishna, he will make one replica of Vrindavan. Same like Vrindavan, same trees, same Jamuna, something like flowers, and some statues of Brajavasis, not real Brajavasis, because Brajavasis never come out from Vrindavan, they cannot tolerate. So that puts for Krishna sometimes when he's feeling so much separation, then he's going there. And Satyabhama also went there in the mood of Radharani, and she installed one murti of Krishna there, one sweet Krishna she installed. And every day she went there with all her love, with and did the puja to Krishna there. And one time Krishna and some of his friends, he went to that Vrindavan also. And when he saw, oh, my murti is also there. Then he saw, there is a murti of myself. And he saw, this murti looks very much alive actually. So much. And somebody is coming and worshipping. Krishna look in the sand. He sees some footprints. He sees also how the tears coming down from the worshipper in the sand. So he's wondering, who is worshipping me with so much love? He sees nice flower decoration, everything beautiful. Put nice oil, everything beautiful. Then Krishna was wondering, who is doing that? Who is giving so much love to me? So Krishna and his friends, they did one thing, they removed this murti, and Krishna himself stood there. And was waiting. Then, waiting until evening time or some time, then Satyabhama came. But Satyabhama in the mood of Radharani came. Then when Krishna saw Satyabhama, he saw Radharani. Oh. And when Satyabhama saw, oh, today Krishna really looks like if he's here. She was thinking, it really looks like that. And Krishna also thought, oh, that is not Satyabhama, that is Radharani. So that Leela also goes on there. Everywhere. Because actually, Goloka Vrindavan is everything. We think there is a big Parabyoma, Vaikuntha, and there is some part of that is Goloka, but it's not like that. Goloka is the big part, Vaikuntha is a small part, and this material world is just some cloud in that whole universe. So everything, therefore in Chaitanya Charitamrita in one place it is written, everything is within Goloka Vrindavan. There is no material world actually, because it's also part of Goloka Vrindavan. But it's only our conception or misconception that something is mine and for myself and this is for my enjoyment, it becomes material world. But there is
fake news, misinformation.
Not misinformation, it is necessary for the understanding. But actually, everything is within Krishna. So where is the material world? Krishna is within everything, everything is within Krishna. So there is no material world, but there is a material world just for our present stage of consciousness. This is there. Like it is said in Bhagavatam, another fake news, to crush another fake news. Jiva, we are Jiva, living entity. We are transcendental by nature. We all agree, we heard it a million times. Maybe not realized, but we have understood it. So what means transcendental? How can there be bondage? If you're transcendental to material, to matter, how you can be bound by matter? So Jiva is never bound, Jiva is never liberated, Jiva is transcendental. That is also, Krishna himself gives these teachings to Uddhava in the 11th canto. But for our present condition, we think we are bound and we have to be liberated to realize that we are transcendental. We need some magician who does some magic to liberate us from this world.
Dissolution of ahankara.
The dissolution of ahankara, that is the only problem.
Yes.
That is the ahankara creates this illusion,
Yes.
because it's the first element of matter, is the false ego. So if the false ego is gone, all material world is gone.
The jiva, which is tatastha shakti, and then ahankara is like a dream.
No, but jiva tatastha shakti means already transcendental to matter. Tatastha shakti means transcendental to matter.
Yes.
So, but that is, to come out from this, you have to do sadhu sangha, sadhana, you need all these things to realize what it is. Because now we are spellbound by this magic. So we need a counter magic, some anti-spell to come out. But actually we are already beyond. But to realize this, therefore this Krishna gives this process here. To himself he gives this katha, this bhagavata.dharma. He does his lila also to take us out from this material illusion. Because this Lila-katha, if you let it inside your heart, it will take you out. So this is one reason why Jagannath also doing this Ratha Yatra. To come out, to show himself to all, because in Jagannath Puri until today, the Pandavas, at least the majority, not all, they are conservative, they don't let non-Hindus inside the temple. That is in India, mostly the temples open now for devotees who are non-born Hindus, but who change to devotees. Mostly the temples are open for them, like Sri Sampradaya. Madhva Sampradaya is also quite conservative. Some allow, some don't allow, but the Jagannath temple is not open for devotees who have white skin, even if they are practicing. And somebody has a dark skin, even he may be an atheist or a Muslim or a whatever, but going inside. It's also Jagannath's desire. One should not think anything bad about that. Why it is, Krishna knows it best. And not all pandas want that. Many pandas also would like to open, but the majority is still.
Pandas.
Pandas means the priests. The Jagannath's priests. No, they're called pandas. Pandas.
Jagannath's priests.
Jagannath's priests.
Is that similar to Pandita?
Maybe, but there's a name, that is their title. So, actually Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj wanted to make his center of ISKCON in Puri. That was his original plan, under one condition, that his devotees are allowed to go and take darshan. So they had a meeting at that time, the 70s, and then the majority was against. The argument was that Rupa and Sanatana Goswami did also not go inside. Voluntarily they rejected to go. They said, we are fallen, we have worked in the Muslim government, we cannot go inside. They did not even go on the grand road, not even to touch a shadow of one of the Brahmins of Jagannath. They went only on the side roads.
Wow.
So Haridas Thakur never went inside. He's Namacharya. But he was staying outside one hut, Siddha Bakula, under one Bakula tree, and from his hut he could see the chakra, and he was chanting 300,000 names every day in Puri. And if you see the chakra of Jagannath, that is same like you have darshan of Jagannath himself, and you in the entrance of the gate, of the lion gate, there is also Patita Pavan Jagannath. If you take this darshan, it's same like inside. But sometimes Jagannath has desire to come out and to give darshan to all. So this is one reason also Jagannath comes out. And one reason is he wants to go to Vrindavan. This is also there. But when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, that went on for thousands of years with full enthusiasm. Actually in India, in many temples they have this Ratha Yatra. It's not only Jagannath. In many South Indian temples you go, they have many rathas. One swan ratha, one peacock ratha, one snake ratha, one horse, one tiger. Many big rathas, and they put the small deities, Utsava deities, festival deities, and they go once a week around the temple, or once a day, once a month, once a whatever. They do this, and the priests they take this and they are dancing with the ratha. They have some special dancing steps to circle around and go this and like that. So it's there, but in Jagannath Puri, the big deities come out. They are very heavy, not these thousands, I don't know how many. They huge wooden deities, very, very heavy. So generally the only small deities coming out. In South India they have big Ranganath deity, he is like 4 or 5 meters long deity from stone, so he is not coming out. But the Utsava deity is coming out and enjoying. But in Jagannath Puri, the big deities are coming. Of course, only once a year, you cannot do this all the time. This is a heavy. That is a speciality. Why this Jagannath Ratha Yatra is also so famous. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, why he went to Jagannath Puri also? That is one reason. Because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he became 24 years old, he was a Grihastha, but he desired, if I am a Grihastha, once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was chanting name of the gopis names he was chanting internally in his bhava. And one Pandit came, one Brahmin came and asking, oh, Nimai Pandit, why are you chanting gopis names? Gopi, you chanting gopis names? Which Shastra is saying you should chant gopis names? Chant Krishna's names, you get full benefit. Whole Shastra glorifying the name of Krishna. Then Mahaprabhu, he was internally in a different mood. Like gopis sometimes in Man, they are angry with Krishna. They are not speaking nicely about Krishna. So he was in that mood. Krishna who? Which this name? And he said he gave many ill names to Krishna. Did Brahmin, he covered his ears, he never listened somebody speak like that about Krishna. Like Uddhava when he came to Braj and listening Radharani how she speaks about Krishna. In her full love, she was chastising one bumblebee. And they're speaking, this black fellow, you the same like, and you go back to your master, and like this. Animals have 4 legs, you have 6, they are very stupid, you have 6 legs, how stupid you are, go back to your master, don't touch my feet, there no other place in this Braja to come, and why you have to sing these songs, go. She spoke many things, how Krishna is cruel, we know who is this Krishna. This Krishna, we know, last life, Shurpanaka wants to marry him, Ramchandra, he cut off the nose, this is how he's treating women, that is his style, and he killed Bali from behind like a coward, so he spoke like that. We know this Krishna who was last life, now he's doing the same, he's killing us also. So like this. So Mahaprabhu was in that mood, chanting the names of the gopis and was in this bhava. And that Brahmin said, chant Krishna's name. I said, what? Krishna's name? I shall chant this Lampata. Lampata means like a playboy or something, like who has no morality. At his name? I said, chant. No, so he took a stick and running after this Brahman. He wanted to beat him. This Brahman is completely, he doesn't know what happened, why he gave a good advice, chant Krishna's name to Mahaprabhu, to Nimai Pandit. When Nimai Pandit became angry, running after him, and that Brahmin escaped. And then they were thinking, he went to his fellows, to his friends, and said, who is this Nimai Pandit? Who does he think he is something better than we? He is a Grihastha, we are Grihasthas, he is Brahmin, we are Brahmins, he is a Pandit, we are Pandits, he thinks he can beat us. He's like a king or what? We will beat him. They were thinking, because they were thinking we are more, we make some group and we find him somewhere on the street, we will beat him. But Mahaprabhu is in the heart of everyone. He understood that. He felt very sorry. Oh, If they have the desire to beat me, they will all fall down. If they have the desire to do some offense against Krishna, what will happen? You will go to hell. No? So Mahaprabhu understood that is in the heart. So he thought, I came to this world to liberate all. Now I'm putting them to hell only because they cannot understand me. So he said, I have to do some trick. So Mahaprabhu said, I have to take sannyas. Because I will take sannyas, they will give pranam to me only because I'm a sannyasi, not because I'm the Supreme Lord. They don't understand. But just by this giving pranam to me, they will purify all their offense. And even now Grihasthas also will respect him. Otherwise they think he is Grihastha. Mahaprabhu was Nimai Pandit, he was married. Why to follow, why to respect more? So he said, I have to take sannyas. So he fixed his mind and took sannyas. And he went and left home, and after he taking sannyas, it's a long history, don't want to go to that. But he took his guru by the hand and together they want to run to Vrindavan. But completely madness. On the day of sannyas, let's go to Vrindavan. Sannyas means to give everything to Krishna. Give your body, mind, soul, your speech, everything to Krishna. Do service, surrender, this is sannyas. So let's go to Vrindavan. The guru and disciple both, they were running. But they don't know what is east, what is north, what is south, what is west, which is day, night. They're just running somewhere here and there. Running here around. So 3 days, they're running here and there without any plan, without any directions. They have no idea where they are. And Nityananda was running after them, and the devotees also. And Nityananda, he somehow was thinking, he's not eating 3 days, he is not changing his clothes, he is not doing anything, so we have to do something. So he saw some cowherd boys, and then he told, if the Goswami is coming and asking where is Vrindavan, show him the way to Ganga. Tell him this is the way to the Jamuna. And the simple boys, they followed. So Mahaprabhu came that way. Then when he saw cowherd boys, he think, Vrindavan. He became happy. So he asked, where is Vrindavan? They said, here's Jamuna. So Mahaprabhu went and came to the Ganga, near to Shantipur. Nityananda sent also one devotee, go to Shantipur, to Advaita Acharya's house. Tell him, bring some fresh sannyas cloth and come with the boat to the Ganga. Come here. So Mahaprabhu saw the Ganga and thought this is Jamuna. I'm in Vrindavan. He's completely mad. So he started praying to Jamuna, many prayers, and he jumping inside and thinking, now I'm in Vrindavan. When he's inside in the water, Advaita Acharya came on the boat. Then Mahaprabhu, Advaita Acharya, you are also in Vrindavan. Advaita Acharya, he said, wherever you are, there is Vrindavan. That is also true. And then Mahaprabhu got some doubts. Something is not right. And Nityananda also came. Then he said, come to Vrindavan. What happened here? Then he understood. Nityananda, he wanted to trick him. But Nityananda said the truth. Because this bank of the Ganga and Jamuna flow together. So one bank is considered Jamuna, one bank is considered Ganga. So Mahaprabhu took bath at the bank of the Jamuna side. So then Nityananda, Advaita Acharya requested Mahaprabhu, you have not eaten for 3 days? I am a poor Brahmin. I have some little boiled vegetable at home. If you want to come, please be my guest. Mahaprabhu said, I am a sannyasi now, I am very renounced. I cannot eat more because he knows Advaita Acharya what he was cooking. Advaita Acharya said, I have nothing at home. He's Mahavishnu, Sadashiva, he has all opulences. His wife will like Lakshmi. So Mahaprabhu, they went, Nityananda went, he gave some fresh clothes to Mahaprabhu. They went there. He had an incredible feast was in the house there. His wife, Sita Thakurani, prepared, and Advaita Acharya, a huge mountain of rice. There were 2 mountains of rice, or 3 maybe. One they put for Krishna, one offering, and then one mountain for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one mountain for Nityananda Prabhu. And then he made them sit down and they eat so much until Mahaprabhu could no more eat. And Nityananda said, what happened? I'm not eating 3 days. I was thinking today at least, but my belly is not even half full. So they were quarreling like this. Then Nityananda, the Advaitacharya, they always quarreling. So then Sachimata came also. All the devotees came to see their Lord, because they wanted to commit suicide. When they saw Mahaprabhu took sanya, they were thinking, what is use to live? Then one voice from the sky came, no, you will meet your Lord, don't worry. After a few days, so that happened. So they all came. When Sachimata saw Nimai, she cried. And she had no more this beautiful hair, she completely shaved head. But when she saw how he's beautiful now, she was very happy. So, and immediately she took him on her lap, and both were crying, both, mother and son. And Nimai, he said, oh mother, in some madness I took sannyas. I don't know what I have done, but I know what is dharma. I left my wife, I left my mother, but I took now sannyas. So what to do? What shall I do? Where to go? I wanted to go to Vrindavan, but I could not go to Vrindavan. So where shall I go? Then Sachimata, when they asked, Mahaprabhu said, you tell me, oh mother, where I will go. He said, I took sannyas, but I will never be indifferent to you. He said to his mother, I will never give up you. So where to go? Then Sachimata said, now when I see you, I cannot live without you. I want you always to be with me. So my desire is you come home. Please come home. But now you took sannyas. Without you, my heart is breaking. Sachimata said, I cannot tolerate this. But now you are sannyasi. If you come home, people will criticize you. And then my heart will break more. So I cannot do that also. So my decision is you go to Jagannath Puri. Because that is not so far like Vrindavan, 300-400 kilometers from Navadvip. And always devotees coming and going between Puri and Navadvip. So I will always get some news about you. In this way I always feel that I am with you. So Mahaprabhu accepted this and went to Puri. Therefore his mother's advice, he went to Puri. And in Puri, when he came first time, before Puri, they were traveling. Nityananda Prabhu was there, Haridas Thakur, and some other devotees, some small group, Gadadhar Pandit. Some small group came. Before Puri, then Mahaprabhu, once he went to take bath, he gave his danda to Nityananda Prabhu. Then Nityananda Prabhu was thinking, that's many acharyas have different realizations about this lila. Nityananda thinking, my Mahaprabhu, why he has to carry a danda? He's a Paramahamsa, so he broke it and threw it into the river. Another said he's a Ekadanda, so he made 3 danda and threw them into the river. So he broke Mahaprabhu's danda, Nityananda, and threw it. Actually, nobody knows why Nityananda is doing anything. He's same Supreme Lord. So after Mahaprabhu came back, he said, where my danda? Then Nityananda, he said, oh, you know, you became so ecstatic, you start dancing. When you fell down, you broke your danda and it fell into the river. He spoke complete lie to me. One Supreme Lord to the other Supreme Lord who bore the absolute truth, spoke a complete lie to him. Such a story, you know. Mahaprabhu really understood. Oh, he said, I took sannyas, I left everything, I have only 2 things, one kamandala and one danda, and you throw this danda? This everything I had was my danda, you throw it? What is that? He understood Nityananda is just speaking lie. When Nityananda in the mood of, children, they know that his parents also know it's 100% lie, but they speak, oh man. So Nityananda was speaking like that, in the mood of a child. Then Mahaprabhu said, no, why you throw this? So I will not go together with you to Puri, I will go alone. Either you go in front, I go after you, or I go in front, you come after me. Then all devotees said, please you go in front, go first, we will come after you. That's a Lila. He wanted to go alone also. Then when he came near to Puri, Puri temple is huge, this temple, you can see from far away. That time no houses also, no city around, just a few houses of the Brahmins. So he saw that big temple and he saw the chakra on the top. So Mahaprabhu fell on the ground and gave Dandavat Pranam. And the last 1, 2, 3 kilometers he took 6 hours or how much, he could not, he was just falling on the ground and falling on the ground like this. This way he came to Puri, and when he came to Puri, he went inside Jagannath temple. And when he saw Jagannath, he ran there. He did not see like we see Jagannath with his huge mouth and big eyes. He saw Sakshat Brajendanandan. He saw Krishna with the flute, he's standing there. So, and he ran there and he wanted to embrace him immediately. He ran, beautiful, very beautiful sannyasi come there and running to the date, and he wanted to embrace, and immediately the guards became alert and they were running. Oh, was some crazy fellow, he wants to go on the altar and touch the deity, so they were ready to want to beat him. Then Mahaprabhu fell unconscious. He fell there on the ground and just was lying there, almost no symptoms of life there. So much ecstasy to see his Jagannath. Then at that moment, then the guards wanted to throw him out. Saying, why he's making such a disturbance here? Then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was present. He saw this is not an ordinary person. He was a learned Brahmin. He could understand this Samudrika Shastra, what is the face, what is the hands, what is this effulgence. He saw this is not an ordinary person. And these symptoms of ecstasy is also not ordinary. This is completely superhuman. So he said, no, bring him to my house. So they brought Mahaprabhu to his house. He was lying there for hours. In the meantime, Nityananda came and the others came. And they were asking, where is Mahaprabhu? And they went to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. So Mahaprabhu lying there. And then they took darshan. Then the guards, when they saw Nityananda, they were thinking, oh, the next one is coming, he will also make like this. So immediately they brought some garlands and gifts to him and they begged him, so please. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's son went with them to take little care. Nityananda is also same in the madness of Krishna Prema, is always like that. So that is why Mahaprabhu came to Jagannath Puri, because his mother told him. And then every day he went to see Jagannath. When he stayed there, that was his daily duty. Morning time, early morning, he took bath and went there for Balya Bhog. That is early in the morning, they offer some sweets to Jagannath. So Mahaprabhu always went, took darshan, Mangalarati darshan, and then he went to Haridas Thakur, give and take darshan with Haridas Thakur and others. So then the time also came of Jagannath Rath Yatra festival. That is now the beginning also of Chaturmasya. That will start now on Guru Purnima next Wednesday. Some starting with tomorrow, with Ekadashi. Tomorrow that is called Shayan Ekadashi. That is the beginning of Chaturmasya. Shayan means sleeping. Vishnu goes sleeping because he is tired of hearing all these desires of the whole universe. Give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this. 8 months. I mean, how many desires I have? How many living entities are there? They have so many desires, and his Paramatma is everywhere, so he has to listen to that. So needs a little break also. So he's sleeping. That is Shayan Ekadashi. Therefore, in this Chaturmasya, the Hindus don't do Karma Kanda because it's not working at the moment. It's not so auspicious. There's no marriage. They will suspend all marriages until Kartik Purnima or Kartik Ekadashi, and then on Ekadashi, whole Vrindavan, whole North India will go to Govardhan Parikrama, and next day whole India will marry. You cannot get a car for 2-3 weeks. All are booked out because they're all waiting for the Karma Kanda for this time. So when this came, the devotees from Bengal came, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had desire also to to participate, so they made Gundicha Marjan, they cleaned the Gundicha temple. That is actually where our temple is in Puri. You have been there? Our Puri temple is at Gundicha temple next. Where Mahaprabhu was sleeping for 9 days. In that place, Guru Maharaj made his temple that is called Ai Tota. Ai means grandmother. Tota means garden in Oriya. So that was grandmother's garden. That was nothing. So there Mahaprabhu was taking rest after Jagannath came there to the Ratha Yatra. Then they were taking rest. 9 days Mahaprabhu was sleeping there in the forest, under the trees, and did all his Lila there. So Guru Maharaj's place is there. It's beautiful. So when that Ratha Yatra festival came, this is also, then Mahaprabhu, he revealed the real meaning of that actually. When he was there. Before then, everybody knows Krishna wants to go to Vrindavan. But really when Mahaprabhu came, and when Jagannath came out, and then he came he mounted the chariot, and then they start pulling. So Mahaprabhu was also pulling. And then Mahaprabhu started dancing. He start dancing and telling to Jagannath, in the mood of Radharani. He got in the mood of Radharani and started to tell him, because you are king now, here like in Kurukshetra. This mood came of Kurukshetra Milan. When they met after 100 years of separation, Brajavasis came to Kurukshetra, Krishna also came to Kurukshetra, and Radharani was not happy. She met the same Krishna, but she was not happy. She said, well, you are now, I'm same Radharani, you are same Krishna. We have same relationship, but here is a forest of chariots, of weapons, of soldiers, of elephants. So much rattling with these weapons and these armors. And you have a crown on your head and you have so much opulence and so much dress. And there are no birds are here chirping and no bees are humming, nothing is there, so I'm not happy here. Krishna, you come to Vrindavan. Krishna offered the gopis also to come to Braj, to Dwaraka. He offered them, but they said, no, we don't want. Radharani said, my mind is Vrindavan. I cannot. My mind is Vrindavan. So we have to bring you to Vrindavan. So this mood came, this Lila came in Mahaprabhu. When he took the ropes and started pulling to Jagannath, then he started dancing and telling with his hands, with the mudras, he was telling to Jagannath all this story, and he was reciting also slokams from Shastra and told this. And Jagannath with unblinking eyes, he was watching. Mahaprabhu was dancing, Radharani is dancing, actually Krishna was watching. So that was like, Radharani was pulling. Krishna, you come to Vrindavan, because from Sri Mandir to Gundicha Mandir means from Dwaraka to Vrindavan, or in this case from Kurukshetra, but Radharani was pulling. And sometimes Jagannath was not going, then pulling more, than sometimes Mahaprabhu with his head he was pushing the cart, it was again running. Sometimes when Mahaprabhu was in backside, Jagannath stopped. Then Mahaprabhu came front side and Jagannath was going again. Until today, this Ratha is going by Jagannath's will. Not by the pulling, not by elephants, not by anyone. It's going by its own. If it does not want to go, no force on this planet can move him. And if he wants to go, one person can take him also. This is until today. So that time Mahaprabhu was dancing so beautifully. And Raghunath Das Goswami, he was also there, eyewitness. 18 years Raghunath Das Goswami stayed with the Supreme Lord in Puri, and he saw himself exactly what he was doing, and he wrote a beautiful Shri Gauranga Stava Kalpataru, beautiful prayer, what he saw, what Mahaprabhu was doing. Mostly that is the Lila in Jagannath Puri here. Then he said, Alankrityatmanam navavividharatnairiva vala dvivarnatvastham vasputa vachanakam pashrupulakai hasans vidyandrityan shitigiripater nirbharamode pura Shri Gauranga hridayam mamudayanti. After Mahaprabhu disappeared, he wrote this in his memory, in his separation, oh, this Gauranga, Sri Gauranga is appearing in my heart and makes me mad. And all these Leelas again came. How he is decorated with 9 jewels, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nava Vividha Ratnai, these 9 different jewels, 9 different ecstasies coming simultaneously, which is never visible generally. So much ecstatic feelings came. His color is becoming pale, his complexion becomes white. Sometimes his stamba is stiff, he's like marble, like stone. Sometimes he's shaking, or one limb is like stone, one is shaking. Everything came simultaneously. So much fighting of ecstasies came to him. Tears coming, vachana kampasha, his voice is faltering or voice is choking. Kampa is shaking, ashru, tears coming like so much like rain is coming. Pulakai, the hairs are standing on end. Then he's laughing, hasan svidyan ritan. He's laughing so much, sometimes so happy, sometimes crying. He's sweating so much also. And dancing for the pleasure of Chaitanya, of Jagannath. He's dancing in all his ecstasy. Just can imagine, we cannot imagine that. This sight, Jagannath was enjoying so much. All Radharani's feelings coming, and he's showing this. Jagannath with unblinking eyes, he's looking this dancing, and he's also, Jagannath also dancing. Some devotees, Kaviraj Goswami could see that, how Jagannath is enjoying this. So all these beautiful ecstasies he's offering to Jagannath Mahaprabhu. And himself, he's full in ecstasy, and Jagannath also full in ecstasy. And he's pulling, you come to Vrindavan, come to our home. He's pulling him with full. And Mahaprabhu, he cannot, because he's dancing, he cannot move very fast. You know, dancing means one step here, one step there, one back, like this. So he's dancing like this and showing and speaking through the hands and through the mudras and through the face. He's speaking to Jagannath. Sometimes also reciting some shlokas, but also through the dancing postures. Rasollasa is tiryakati virabhito variviralam Trishosinchan lokan aruna jalayanta tvamitayoho mudadantai drishtva madhura madaram kampachalitai natanshi gauranga hridaya udayam mamadayati. Raghunath Das Goswami is there. He is eyewitness. See how this Mahaprabhu is beautiful dancing there. And how he's moving slowly. Because he's so happy that he's, if somebody is happy, he's not running. He's just like this. He's so happy, bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan, full ecstasy. And from his 2 reddish eyes, so much water is coming like from a garden hose. You turn on the hose, it's coming like you turn on the tap water. So much water is coming. He sees that. Raghunath Das Goswami is eyewitness. He's writing this here. He sees so much that the whole floor, the ground becomes muddy. People become wet around Mahaprabhu where he's dancing, he's spreading his tears everywhere. And full of happiness, he is biting his lips with his teeth like this. And he's so happy biting his lips with his teeth, his sweet lips. And the whole body is shaking like this. He's dancing and praying and pulling Krishna back with so much ecstasy. So in dancing, this Gauranga is appearing in Raghunath Das Goswami's heart. It makes him mad. How he's so beautiful. Just imagine, this is the Supreme Lord. Who can see the Supreme Lord? No one. Brahma cannot see him. He can hear his voice in the heart when he's chanting Purusha Sukta. But here, he's so mercifully coming, manifests himself to be seen by all people who are there. But what they see is completely beyond. Who can see the Lord in such a state, in such an ecstasy, in such a beautiful Leela? This, not everybody could also understand. Prataparudra also was there, the king, who was a great devotee of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu rejected him. He didn't want to see him because king means money, king means woman. I'm a sannyasi, I don't want to see him. I will be blamed for this, I will be contaminated. But he was a pure devotee. So he also came to see the dancing of Mahaprabhu. He could not understand this. So much ecstasy. Sometimes there's the mucus coming from his nose, saliva coming from his lips, sweat coming from his pores, sometimes blood coming out from the pores. And he's rolling on the ground, rolling in the dust, become completely dirty. All the dust mixes with all these things which come out from his body. It's like this Mahaprabhu. It's impossible to understand what vision they had, what darshan they had of the Supreme Lord. But how they can also forget. Therefore Raghunath Das Goswami says, Natanshi Gauranga Ridaya Udayamma Madayati. This Mahaprabhu is dancing in my heart and makes me mad. It becomes completely crazy to see the Lord. They love him more than their life, and they see him in such a state. So much ecstasy, also difficult to understand, so much suffering also. Prataparudra, he was astonished. He saw the Lord. Mucus coming, saliva coming, blood coming, sweat coming, tears coming, dust. What is that? A foam coming from his mouth. Even so much ecstasy. One devotee was there. His name was Bhaktsa. Somehow he stole some foam from Mahaprabhu's mouth and ate it. Got such a Mahaprasad. So he stole that. So you can imagine what is that. It's beyond of whatever we can even in the dream. Or we cannot see that. We cannot imagine what kind of Leela Mahaprabhu manifested there. For Jagannath, for the whole world, for all who were there, they give this to us.
Is that the song we sang?
That is one poem, yes, by Raghunath Das Goswami.
The song we sang?
No, it's
It's
another.
another.
That is one poem. That's called the Sri Gauranga Stava Kalpataru. This is the wish-fulfilling tree of Gauranga Mahaprabhu's Leela. So Prataparudra, when he saw that, the king, he had some doubts. He said, this is actually how, if I spitting on my body and put some mucus on my body and little dust, can I go inside and do some service? This is impure. Some blood is coming, you cannot do. So Mahaprabhu was like that. But how can he be impure? He cannot be impure. But that Prataparudra was thinking, what is that? It's so filthy substances. This is not this. He was disgusted. Little. The night time he had one dream. Jagannath appeared. Because the king of Puri, he's a great devotee of Jagannath. He's called Adidas, the first Das. He's a very pure devotee. And this Prataparudra, he is a pure devotee. So Jagannath appeared in the dream to him. And Jagannath was full of saliva, full of mucus, full of blood, full of sweat, full of dust, full of all these things, what Mahaprabhu, and he embraced him. And then the king, he understood, this is Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're not different from each other. He makes sense, like external distinction. He was thinking one is pure, one is impure, but the Lord is always completely pure. So this vision also Jagannath Mahaprabhu gave to the Prataparudra, and then Jagannath also showed him, now what you say? He told them to Prataparudra in the dream, hey, what is, before you're thinking this is impure now? What is it? And he realized, the king realized that. So many beautiful leelas. This Ratha Yatra is full of this. It's so much. And sometimes Mahaprabhu, he was dancing wild, Dandava. That meant like Lord Shiva, dancing like wild, heavy dancing. And then sometimes he changed the mood. Then he started the sweet dancing. So like everything for Jagannath, everything for him. Then once suddenly Mahaprabhu started reciting some worldly poetry about one man and a woman who were married, and the woman is saying, you are my husband, I'm your wife. But I don't have this feeling like before when we were not married and we secretly meeting in the river under the tree. I so much like this. Mahaprabhu is reciting this. It's like a sannyasi publicly recite some love song. I can imagine people were thinking what this sannyasi is doing. No? If we go on Manifestasse, do some kirtan and suddenly I will sing some love song with loudspeaker, what people will say. He's crazy, no? And that time also people knew who is a sannyasi. So he started saying this, but with so much ecstasy and bhava and love and dedication for Jagannath. People were a little, did not understand why the sannyasi suddenly sings some worldly poetry. That's not befitting. But Mahaprabhu was fully inside. Then Rupa Goswami was there at that time. He was there once, twice at Ratha Yatra. He stayed always in Vrindavan, but also too much separation from Mahaprabhu, so he had to come also to meet. Then when Rupa Goswami saw, he immediately understood. This is just a code. Because husband and wife means Radha Krishna. And that means Kurukshetra Milan, that meeting in Kurukshetra. He is saying, now we meet. You are same Krishna, I am same Radha, but this is not the place. I want, like before, on the banks of Jamuna, there in the moonlit nights. I want that. So Rupa Goswami, he understood. Swarup Damodar Goswami understood. Rupa Goswami understood. Mahaprabhu understood. And Jagannath understood. Others, they could not understand what is going on. Then Rupa Goswami, after that was over, he composed one verse also to explain the meaning of this. And he wrote it on one palm leaf and put it under the thatched roof of his hut and went to take bath in the ocean. That he was staying with Haridas Thakur together, Rupa Goswami. Then Mahaprabhu came every day. Mahaprabhu's sadhana was to see Haridas Thakur. Lord is coming to take darshan of his bhakta every day. Haridas Thakur said, I will not go to Jagannath, I am fallen. But Jagannath came out in the form of Mahaprabhu every day to see Haridas Thakur. Then he saw Rupa Goswami just took bath. He was at the ocean. He was not there. Then he saw there is one palm leaf there. So he took it and was looking, what is that? Swarup Damodar Goswami was with him. So he looked at it. Mahaprabhu was astonished. He showed to Swarup Damodar Goswami. How he knows? How he can understand my heart? At that moment, Rupa Goswami returned. And Mahaprabhu just saw that palm leaf and that shloka. When Rupa Goswami returned, he gave his Sashtak Dandat Pranam. Then Mahaprabhu slapped him, gently, sweet. Like hey Rupa, how you know my heart? How is that? Then Rupa Goswami did not say anything, but Swarup Damodar Goswami said, there's only one explanation. You gave all your mercy to him. Because already Mahaprabhu gave all his mercy to Rupa Goswami and made him, you are the Rasa Acharya. What is Rasa, what is Bhakti Rasa? You will be Acharya. So he gave him all his mercy. What is inside his heart? That means Rasa. Mahaprabhu came. He is that Elo Gaura Nadi, Gaura Rasa Nadi. Kadambi Nihai. We sang this song. This Mahaprabhu is that flow of Gaura, that Rasa. So that has come. So all the Rasa he gave to Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami, he understood. Swarup Damodar Goswami immediately said, there is only one explanation. You have given your mercy to him. That is very clear. Therefore he can understand your heart. So many Leelas in Jagannath Puri. Jagannath Ratha Yatra is wonderful. There is many chapters in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Deep explanation is given there. Deep explanation. And Mahaprabhu revealed what this meaning of Ratha Yatra means. To pull Krishna from Dwaraka to Vrindavan. That before this Vienna Ratha Yatra was there, we had also one program in Brajajan's house. Then he requested me to say something on Ratha Yatra. So I explained to them also, Ratha Yatra does not mean just festival and dancing and after take prasad. No, to pull Krishna to Vrindavan. bring Krishna to Vrindavan. Everybody should bring Krishna to Vrindavan. This is the meaning, that Mahaprabhu revealed that. Before him, it was not known. Jagannath knows everything, but nobody was there to preach these things. So Mahaprabhu, through his devotees, first of all, through his personal appearance on the Ratha Yatra and his behavior, he showed that, and his dancing and his reciting the many verses, he showed what is the meaning of Ratha Yatra. And of course, after through the devotees, Kaviraj Goswami, he mercifully wrote all these things down, otherwise how we could understand. Therefore Kaviraj Goswami is the storekeeper, Prema Bandhari. We just sang this nice, beautiful. He's Prema Bandhari, and he put everything in a Hema Kumbha, in one golden pot. That is Chaitanya Charitamrita, according to my understanding. If you open Chaitanya Charitamrita, there's only rasa inside. Any place you open this book, it is full of rasa, deepest rasa, with the sweetest thing. So Kaviraj Goswami was so merciful, he left this Ratha Yatra meaning for us. And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he also was going more deeper into that matter. He found out many more things in Jagannath Puri, like Konark temple, Sun temple. That is famous in India. Konark temple, very beautiful architecture and ornaments. That is near Puri. When Mahaprabhu went into the ocean, because he thought that is Jamuna, once Mahaprabhu, in his madness, he escaped from Gambhira, went on the ocean and saw water waves. I thought it's Jamuna, so he jumped inside. And he forgot everything, lost consciousness. And inside, internally, he was seeing Krishna and the gopis playing in the water. So he was floating for, 6 hours or something. Hours in the ocean. Devotees, they could not find him. So he was floating to that Konark temple, actually, near to there. And then one fisherman, he suddenly got a big fish. Oh, he was very happy, very heavy net. So then he saw, oh my God, a corpse inside it there. The body of Mahaprabhu, his joints opened. The bones were just held together by the skin. His arms became long, his legs became long, everything opened, became long, like a ghost he was looking. That fisherman was frightened, he was shocked to see that. He was thinking, oh, this is like a dead body. And he wanted to throw him back into the water. But when he touched this body, one ghost entered into him and he became mad. He started chanting, Hari, Hari, Hari. He became crying and laughing and falling down, and he became totally crazy. So he was running on the ocean, on the shore there. He was running and crying, and Swarup Damodar Goswami and all the devotees went and looking, crying for Mahaprabhu. And then they saw this mad fellow coming, a fisherman. Then Swarup Damodar Goswami had some suspicion, must be something. So he met him, said, who are you? Oh, I'm a fisherman. What happened? One ghost entered into my body. Swarup Damodar Goswami said, I'm a good exorcist. He slapped him. He murmured some mantra and gave him a slap to cool him a little down. They said, what happened? I took out one dead body from the ocean. Swarup Damodar Goswami understood, oh, that is Mahaprabhu. Yes, that is Mahaprabhu. He said, no, that is not Mahaprabhu. I have seen Mahaprabhu dancing at the Ratha Yatra. I know who is Mahaprabhu. He is not Mahaprabhu. This is a ghost. He is so long, many meters long. He is completely white. This 6 hours in the sea, the skin became like this. And also he is full of ghosts. One ghost entered into my body. I touching, one ghost entered into my body. And he said, generally, if I have problems with ghosts, I chant Nrsimha mantra. Then all ghosts run away. But when I chant Nrsimha mantra now, these ghosts become double power, double strong. I become more mad if I'm chanting this Nrsimha mantra, because holy name. Then Swarup Damodar Goswami understood, yes, bring us, show us this ghost, show us this dead body. So they saw Mahaprabhu also in this condition, on the shore full of sand, the skin completely, And also, how to say in English? From the water.
Bloated.
Bloated. Bloated, completely after so many hours in the water. You can imagine how one looks, no? You can see sometimes people who are rescued after many hours in the water, how they so, and the joints opened and the body is so long and sand inside the mouth and in the ears and everywhere, and they were crying, seeing Mahaprabhu like that.
Joints open?
Die Gelenke haben sich geöffnet.
Ah.
Body became so long, all the elbows, everything open. Just the skin held together the bones. So then the Sarvadhamara Goswami was start chanting Harinam into Mahaprabhu's ears, but nothing. So he was loudly chanting, he was shouting Harinam into his ears. Then after some time Mahaprabhu's body became normal. He woke up. Haribol, Haribol, what happened? Why you bring me here? Why you break? He saw he was Radha Kunda, Jamuna, he saw Gopis and Krishna, they are enjoying in the water. Why you bring me here? He became unhappy. What noise is that? Sarvadhamara Goswami's beautiful chanting of Harinam. Why you make this noise? Why you bring me out? So it took a long time to come out for him to this. So Raghunath Das Goswami, he was present in all these leelas, and he wrote after this beautiful Gauranga Stava Kalpataru. And who is chanting this Gauranga Stava means this is a tree. At the end he said this whole poem is a tree, and you have to all the different branches and twigs and leaves. This means the verses with all the different bhavas. One verse is a branch, many bhavas, many different flowers on these flowers. So what you have to do if there are flowers and if you want fruits, you have to water it. You have to take care for the tree and wait. Already flowers Raghunath Das Goswami gave. This whole poem is like a flowering tree, fruit tree, but now you have to water it. And this water is Muhuryo Ati Shraddha Aushadi Valabalat Pata Salilai. By reciting these verses, you give water. And not only reciting, you have to put some fertilizer also, and that fertilizer means Shraddha, Ati Shraddha. With a full Shraddha, with full conviction, you fertilize, you put this fertilizer into the water, and this water you give. What will happen if you give enough? Alam sinchet, if you water enough and daily, fruits will come. And what are the fruits? Flowers are Krishna Mahaprabhu's bhavas. This is, as he said, Vivida Sadbhava Kusuma Prabha, shining, beautiful Maha. This all we can hear. Mahaprabhu's bhavas. If you read this poem and if you think little, how it's crazy how beautiful it is. And Raghunath Das Goswami says, this Gauranga Hridaya Udayam Mam Madayati. Mahaprabhu makes me mad because these flowers blossom in his heart. But if you recite this again and again, and you put this water enriched, the water of recitation enriched with your faith, you will get Sarasa Guru Tal Lokana Palam. This is Sarasa Guru Palam, means full of rasa. If a fruit has so much rasa inside, it's very heavy, like a watermelon, very heavy. So these are like watermelons, full of rasa. And what is that? Tat Lokana, to get his darshan. This is the fruit. So one who is chanting this, he will get Mahaprabhu's darshan, definitely. This is Mahaprabhu in Puri, many beautiful leelas there. This is what we have to do, how to spend our time. This Lila-katha, if you want to come out from this ocean of birth and death, no other way without Lila-katha. If one is eager to come out, because this is difficult to cross, where to start? We are in the middle of ocean. It's not you just go out. If you're in the middle of ocean, how much you have to swim to come out? So there is only Plavamnanyat bhagavata Purushottamasya Lila-katha Nishevitam Antarena. There's only one boat, that is Lila-katha. Plavat na anyat. There is no other boat than this Lila-katha. And take this Lila-katha and put it in your heart. We have to take inside, not just listen a nice lecture. And after I ask what was the lecture, very nice lecture, what he speak? Oh, I don't know. No, we have to put it inside the heart, cultivate this. This is what we get from our gurus. It's such a treasure. If you listen Harikatha from one Rasika Bhakta, you have no idea what is the value of that. There's no other treasure in this world what you can give for that. So if you see some devotees coming speaking about Krishna with his love, with his realization, with tattva, go and sit and just take it. If it's too much money to go there, just pay. If you have to accept to become sick or whatever, if you torture your body for this, just go. If you go to India to being with devotees and listen some katha, and it's difficult and loud and hot and whatever, and too much chili, whatever is there, and you get diarrhea, and this is nothing compared to what you can get if you sit with some high-class devotees. Go there and take these all jewels. They just give. They give so much. Take. This is necessary. This will grow. Maybe one cannot understand this immediately also, but it will come after some time. It will come. So we should just go. If some katha is going on, go there and listen. Nowadays people not come for katha, they come just for prasad. But they don't know really this real prasadam is the katha. And also the feelings. Somebody has his feelings. Go and beg. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatam yadi kutopi labhyate. If you see somewhere these feelings are there, Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati. If somebody has Krishna consciousness, go there and beg. Buy it, actually it's said. Buy it, purchase it, pay the price. What is the price? What is the price? How? Some I see one devotee is full with Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati. So I want that. I see he has so much. If he open his mouth, loving words come out for Krishna. So I want that. So how? Therefore that Ramananda is quoting this verse in the conversation with Mahaprabhu. Krishna bhakti rasa bhavitamati kriyatam yadikutopi labhyate. Kriyatam means it should be purchased yadikutopi labhyate, wherever you can get it. Wherever you can get it, it should be purchased. Means buy it. So, tattya laulam ekam apimulyam. There's only one currency, that is laulyam. Be greedy for that. Greedy means what? What is meaning to be greedy?
At all costs.
At all costs. Don't steal it. Pay the price. But be greedy. That is the meaning. Stay with him. It's not a criminal act to buy something, even if you're greedy, but you pay the price. So wherever you see that valuable Krishna bhakti, in some devotee's heart, in his action, in his whatever, see, go and buy it. Go and buy it. And how to buy? What is the greed? Please him. Just sit down and asking, oh please Maharaj, say something. This is only what they want. What they want is only to speak about Krishna, but rare to find opportunities that somebody is asking about Krishna, about Jagannath. Who is Jagannath? Why Jagannath looks like that? They want to speak this. Why? What is Mahaprabhu's Lila, Jagannath, Puri, that Lila? Now our Guru Maharaj so mercifully gave this, Mahaprabhu and Jagannath both. This whole Lila is there. So wherever it is, buy it. Be greedy. Be greedy. Sacrifice something, no problem. How much health or wealth or whatever we lose is nothing compared to what we can get. This will stay. Nehavikrama nasasti pratyavayena vidyate. Nothing is lost. If you change this body, you will take this with you. This wealth will stay with us. Whatever we listen from the Vaishnavas, which will enter the heart, it will stay with us. This is really asset. That is really wealth. Everything else is... Now people fighting only for these external things. Vaishnavas also fighting for temples and not fighting for Krishna consciousness. Who is more Krishna conscious? Not, there's no fight, but who, for disciples, for money, for influence, for preaching field or something like this, they are fighting. But nobody is fighting for how much we can attract Krishna. So, if you find someone like this is really bad. Shri Jagannath ki jai, Patita Pavan ki jai, Shri Jagannath Ratha Yatra ki jai, Prem Purushottam Sachinandam Gaur Hari ki jai, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai, Shri Kaviraj Goswami ki jai, Shri Gurudeva ki jai, Shri Gourpremanande ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Gourpremanande, Hari Hari Hari.
Jai.